does not want to go forward with the case, they have a right to say that they don't want to go forward with the case. I am relying on a video where she is recanting, saying that these things did not happen. I would be foolish not to, as a defense attorney.
Dr. Matthews pointed to testimony that the initial 911 call reported a missing person before a later call alleged a kidnapping.
That right there was kind of sketchy as well, because you called at first saying that it was a missing person. Then you waited 3 hours later, and then you called again saying that someone was being kidnapped. Something is not passing the smell test.
There's also, from learning in court, an ongoing custody battle. And so that's motivation alone for whenever he gets upset or she gets upset.
You come to do, but I come to praise the name.
We back in these YouTube streets, man. Only grown folks allowed. The only place you can come for celebrity news and grown folk conversation. And today the conversation gonna be about Houston rapper Cartel Bo, who was recently arrested and charged with felony charges while he is under federal probation, right? And this stems from a situation with him and his baby mama. Now, let me tell y'all this before we get into this particular video and this topic about these two. And this goes out to men and women. Baby daddies and baby mamas all in the same. If y'all with each other and in the process, y'all bring into this world kid, and for some toxic reason, y'all situation don't work out and y'all part ways. Let me tell you something about co-parenting. It's really simple. It's really an easy thing to do. For most people that separate and part ways, and I'm talking about baby mamas and baby daddies, that makes co-parenting difficult, and Cartel Bo situation ain't no different, and we gonna get into it. But to be successful in the co-parenting bracket, y'all gotta stop doing it. For the communication and the co-parenting from both ends of the fence, and for the sake of the kid, the only way y'all gonna co-parent in peace, y'all gotta stop fucking. In an NFL Cartel Bo situation, he didn't want her, but he didn't want to let her go. In Griselda Blanco, she didn't want him, but she don't want to let him go. And we have this.
A woman held captive for at least 4 days, locked in a closet, escaped in just her underwear. This happened here at a home on Darby Retreat Lane in the Cypress area. Court records say she told investigators the father of her children held her captive. Records say deputies found zip ties, fast food wrappers, and a closet with a deadbolt. She allegedly got out only after he left the house and got pulled over. That's when she says she ran and flagged down a neighbor for help. Investigators say the suspect is Warren Brown, better known online as rapper Cartel Bo, and he'd already been wanted for more than a week. And this isn't his first headline. Cartel Bo previously did federal prison time after this viral 2018 rap video, prosecutors said, showed gang members with loaded, stolen guns filmed in a park next to an elementary school. Now he's back in jail facing charges that could mean up to life in prison. His attorney calls the allegations, quote, not the prettiest, but says he hopes Brown comes away, quote, unscathed. He's now due back in court on Monday when prosecutors plan to argue to hold him without bond.
Now, to understand what type of person Cartel Bo, whose real name is Warren Brown, his character and how he think and why he may have ended up in this situation he's in right now, roll the clip.
Real life, you feel me? Oh, well, in real life, like the real life hustling folk. Like, you know, when I met her, I was in the street strong. You know what I'm saying? I just say I was a back page bandit, and you know what I'm saying. I had pretty ladies that was, you know, already in the industry that I helped direct to financial paths. And when I met her, I still had what I had going on. This, that, and another. The real life, you feel me? Oh, well.
So just a little glimpse of NFL Cartel Bo gives you a little insight on how he think and the type of relationship him and his baby mama had. He ended up saying that their relationship was like hustle and flow. If you ever watched that damn movie, wasn't nothing healthy about the situation. The whole shit was toxic. He was making money off the women. The women was going through all kind of shit to make sure they please him. He was taking advantage of all the women, and he telling you this in an interview. Not a nigga in jail. So your situation with your baby mama went from a hustle and flow relationship where it was some pimping going on and a little drizzle of street walking going on. This who you had a kid with. Never mind that once the kid come, because it don't even matter now. Y'all got to learn how to co-parent and coexist with each other, even though y'all ain't together as an item. And that became a problem for NFL Cartel Bo and his baby mama. And I think it's both of their fault. I don't think it's just his fault because he don't want to let go. He said in an interview before, you know, we be into it, and this year come over with that dress on, bending all over the house, and you know, next thing you know, we back at it. Nigga, ain't nothing any different about their situation that don't go on in your local projects, in your local poverty-stricken neighborhood amongst each other. We see Pookie and LaQuisha outside going back and forth over 2 kids they got with each other. They don't want each other, but they don't want to let each other go, and they still fucking on the low. To co-parent correctly, y'all got to stop. You got to give up the cooch, and she gonna have to give up the law. Simple as that. Now, Cartel Bo did go to court. Even though the baby mama recanted her statement, it don't look good for Cartel Bo, and his lawyer spoke on a little bit of something, but I think a lot of people need to understand what's going on, especially rappers, because they are using y'all lyrics in court at any given time when y'all get in trouble. And just so happen when y'all get in trouble, some of these lyrics kind of validate the situations y'all end up in jail for. So y'all kind of got to be careful about that. But we about to roll this clip.
A Harris County judge heard arguments today about whether rapper Cartel Bo should be granted bond during an 11D hearing earlier today. Brown's attorney argued the defense presented new evidence supporting bond and urged the public to wait until all of the evidence is considered before reaching conclusions.
Again, the complainant in this case is a grown woman. One of the things that I asked, one of the things that my investigator asked is anyone forcing you to do this? And she stated no, right? So any affidavits that were signed, and you're right, I am relying on that because that is actual evidence, right? If a person does not want to go forward with a case, they have a right to say that they don't want to go forward with the case. I am relying on a video where she is recanting, saying that these things did not happen. I would be foolish not to, as a defense attorney.
Dr. Matthews pointed to testimony that the initial 911 call reported a missing person before a later call alleged a kidnapping.
That right there was kind of sketchy as well, because you called at first saying that it was a missing person. Then you waited 3 hours later, and then you called again saying that someone was being kidnapped. Something is not passing the smell test.
There's also, from learning in court, an ongoing custody battle. And so that's motivation alone for whenever he gets upset or she gets upset, 911 is being called, and we're weaponizing law enforcement and the criminal justice system to play a role in making us more successful in our custody desires with an ongoing family court matter. Also, something else we learned in this case, and this is important, and I'm surprised you didn't raise the question, sir, as we all heard, she was harassed and intimidated by law enforcement. And she said it over and over again. I felt harassed, I felt threatened, I felt intimidated. She even went on to say that they were trying to force me to say and do something I did not want to do. And I told them multiple times I didn't want to do it. The words of the victim on video. This is not something she wrote down. These are her words. She says I was never threatened. She says I was never assaulted by him. And she says I told law enforcement that, but they kept trying to get me to change the narrative. So it appears to me that law enforcement has an axe to grind with Mr. Brown beyond just this case because of how they handled the victim in this case. She told them, I don't want to go to hospital. I don't need to go. They forced her to go. She asked paramedics, do I have to go? I don't want to go. Then she gets to the hospital and she says, I keep telling you over and over again, I don't need a rape kit. I was not raped. She didn't make the 911 call. Somebody else made the 911 call. And come to find out, the person who made the 911 call has a connection to the custody battle. This is a lot. This is a lot of drama, and it's not passing the smell test. Yes, there's some previous cases between the two, because obviously there's a serious toxic relationship. But if we're allowing people to weaponize the system whenever they get mad with their spouse or the person in a relationship with, to use law enforcement as leverage, that appears to be what it is, because these cases come with these same two, and then she turns around and says, okay, well, no, nothing happened. I changed my story, because she's also admitting she's afraid that she could get in trouble possibly for making these statements to law enforcement. But when we first saw it on the media as it was presented, we thought this man was a monster. We thought this man was somebody out kidnapping people, handcuffing them, keeping them locked in a closet. But no, She's admitting drugs were being used. She's admitting alcohol was being consumed of her own free will. There's a lot to this case that needs to come out, but I'm surprised that the prosecutors in this case rushed to come with these kind of charges. This is despicable. They should be a lot more professional than that and more meticulous in cases than this. I don't see a snowflake chance in hell of them taking this case to trial. You cannot let a jury hear all what we heard. And how many of you would hear everything that we just heard and come back with a guilty verdict after hearing both sides that we did today? I don't think so.
Once again, this is a tricky situation. It's not looking good for Cartel Bo, but it's a lot of things involved in the case that look like they trying to railroad Cartel Bo. And if he got good representation, and I believe he do because his lawyers and all is speaking out on the situation, and they got some valid points, and they gonna press the issue, it seemed like. And once again, the baby mom said, but we know these type of things that happen, two people getting into it, whether they be together and they don't have a kid, or it's a baby mama, baby daddy situation, and the police get involved. Somebody going to jail. And sometimes it can get so heated. Y'all saying stuff to each other, y'all pushing each other buttons, y'all in each other faces, yelling, and aggressively being verbal with y'all attacks on each other. And in the heat of the moment, women deal with everything involving them with emotion. And in that situation, they're going to deal with that with 100% emotion. So if they grab the phone and call the police and say this and say that, at that moment, the temperature has overflowed in the room. It's tension everywhere, y'all arguing. She in a toxic state of mind. Nigga, so is you. And then something like this happens. Then a day or two go past. She ain't mad no more. He ain't mad like he was. The nigga just in jail now. And now she got to go up there and let them know that that ain't what happened. Or I said the wrong thing. Or that ain't what really happened. They forced me to do this. They forced me to do that. But now it's seeming like it's a little bit more out of their reach because it's not just about her recanting her statement anymore. Now the state of Texas in Harris County or whichever county this happened in picked this up. And now Cartel Bo really got to fight it. And why? All because they couldn't co-parent correctly and peacefully, all due to the fact that they still fucking. Prime example. Nigga, my parents parted ways when we was kids. They still was coming back to each other and sneaking around with each other, and dad was still coming out the room. Mom still coming out the room from being in the room with dad, even though they had parted ways. They still was fucking. And sometimes that complicated co-parenting. That shit didn't smoothen out until they stopped fucking. And then he was able to be the dad. He always was the dad, but he was able to be the dad without going through baby mama drama because y'all not having no intimate ties with each other. So the emotions and the feelings ain't being rubbed on and caressed on every other day because y'all not doing that no more. Y'all have to stop dealing with each other sexually in order for y'all to be able to co-parent peacefully. That's just what it is. And them not being able to do that resulted in this man going to jail. Now he facing serious felony charges. And niggas got to understand too, in the heat of the moment, you arguing with your baby mama or any female for that matter. I don't care if it's girlfriend, wife, the nigga, somebody you just met today. If you get physical with her and decide to do something crazy like lock the doors in the car against her will, hold her in the house against her will, anything of that matter, right? Just understand if she pick up that phone, call the police and said you holding her hostage against her will in any kind of way, nigga, you in trouble. But she also got to understand when she pick up that phone and say that, she better mean that shit. Don't let that be a heat of the moment decision you make just because you want to see this nigga go through some shit for the next 24 hours. Because that's going to cost a nigga livelihood, money, and they freedom, bruh. But the Cartel Bo, when it come to you dealing with your baby mama Griselda Blanco, you going to have to let the buns go, bruh. Because if you don't, like the lawyer said, y'all done been in plenty situations where both of y'all done end up in jail over these domestic disputes y'all having and these custody disputes y'all having. It ain't healthy for the kid, but it ain't healthy for y'all relationship with each other for the kid neither. And they got to fix that. Cartel Bo gotta fix that. His baby mama Griselda Blanco gotta fix that. Y'all gotta fix that. Niggas in the hood, bitches in the hood, y'all gotta fix that shit. Stop fucking your baby daddy, and then maybe y'all co-parenting look be cool. Your baby daddy needs to stop chasing after them buns, and maybe he'd be a better dad. Maybe he'll be able to co-parent in peace. Maybe y'all can stop tearing shit up by rekindling old feelings and continuous lust for each other. Let that shit go. It didn't work. When you do it, it might be good, but it didn't work. You gotta let that shit go, nigga. And now it's time to be parents. Because the relationship or the situationship between y'all didn't work. You gotta let it go. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Do y'all think Cartel Bo gonna get up out this situation he in right now? Facing kidnapping charges and a whole bunch of other things, even though she recanted her statement. The judicial system is still trying to put this man and keep this man behind bars. They denied his bond. So he still has to fight. But will NFL Cartel Bo make it up out of this? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because this is nothing but another domestic issue that we kind of see every day in the hood. And I feel like most of the time when we talking about co-parenting with the opposite that we may no longer be with, y'all got to sever them ties completely in order to be able to co-parent peacefully, bruh. That's just what it is, and that's something that I had to live myself. I was one of them niggas. I got multiple baby mamas trying to do it to them all. In return, what? No peace. We could. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing for my kid, but at the same time, ain't no peace between us because we still doing it. And then in return, we still doing us. How the fuck we gonna get peace in that, nigga? Only grown folks allowed, man. The only place you can come for celebrity news and grown folk conversation, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all share the video. And I need my only grown folk fam down in the comments and in them likes, man. Turn us up, man. Only grown folks allowed. I'm out of here.